What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another DLJ Works tutorial. And in this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to do some more footer magic here, except instead of using jQuery or JavaScript, which is the preferred method for me to adjust any footer on a WordPress theme, we're just going to use some simple CSS3. Now, I know many people don't even say really just CSS3, but it just happened. But anyway, so preferably I would prefer to use jQuery or JavaScript for DOM reasons and semantics and SEO, because really with the CSS you're just really kind of using a trick, sort of say, how should I say? And from that standpoint, you're not really making you're making it disappear from a browser standpoint, but semantically the element is still going to be there. You're just not displaying it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use some CSS magicry, that's not even a word, some trickery, I guess that's even much better, to make these adjustments here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, so we are in our CSS editor. So now I'm going to find a blank space here, coming all the way down here to the bottom. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to do is I actually want to go to my developer tools. And I want to take a look to see exactly where these elements are, the class names associated with them, so on and so forth. So here we're going to look at this, hover over it. We hit our blue button here so we can have that access. I want to see from the very beginning of the footer. Okay, we'll click there. And as we can see here, this is where the footer ID is. So we're just going to go ahead and collapse that. And now we can see the actual container. So we all know that this is the footer. Okay. And here we can also collapse that, and boom. Okay, so now what we have here is we have the div class here. And usually you can go over here on this side and find exactly the code that you need, the specific code specifically. If not, you can kind of make that interpretation over here just by actually looking at the parent elements, the child elements, descendant and ascendant. So we see that it's the footer. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and type footer, and I'm going to use the class name instead of the ID. I'm going to type in dot site footer. And remember, when you're doing class names, you want to use the period. All right, next we're going to do div dot class. Okay, oh, sorry, not dot class. We're going to use dot container because that's the class name given to that specific div. Okay, and as you're doing child elements, all you need to do, you could add an arrow here if you wanted to. I'm not sure if that's the deprecated technique right now, but you can just add an arrow if you want to, but that's not necessary. We just need to know what we're actually dealing with. So after the container, we're going to add another class here. And if you look here, you have like 3 class names. And in the class names, in between the quotation marks, we have site info. I think this is column MD-6. And then we have another class name, column-SM-6. So I don't know what the MD and the SM stands for. So if I'm a little bit ignorant, forgive me on that. We're just going to use the first class name, which is site/info. Okay. And then after that, we have the ahref here. We have the A elements, the link elements, both of them. So if I just go ahead and I just type in A, okay, and these have no class, although they do have a class name here, customize previewable, okay, but I'm just going to type in A. Now I'm going to not enter the class names because I think with the A we're going to be targeting both links under this div, and I'm going to do display none. All right, now that took out one part of this. That took out only one part. So okay, so I was a little bit off then. I guess I'm gonna have to actually go ahead and use and specify. Oh, wait a second. It took off both. It took off the fly mag, but because this isn't actually, let's see here. Okay. All right, because this isn't actually inside of the A element, this little slash is part of the span. What I'm gonna actually have to do is I'm gonna have to kind of add a second set of elements to target that span element. So I'm gonna highlight all of this, Control C, Control V. Now this A right here, I'm gonna change from A to span because that span element is not inside of the A at all. Okay, and that did not work. Okay, which is okay. But this, let me make sure this is not inside. Yep, that's not inside span. Okay, site class info. Okay, theme now by theme. Okay, so we got rid of the A. Now we just need to get rid of this theme by theme al. And the trick is here is not part of, actually this isn't part of anything. We just got rid of the line here because that's part of the actual, that is actually part of the actual element for span. So the theme we have right here is completely outside. It's completely outside. So what I'm gonna have to do now is, let me try another trick here. Okay. I'm going to Control V again. And instead of A, we're going to just have, all right. So now I probably didn't even need to do this. Let me actually just see here if I just actually take this out. All right, so there we go. I didn't even have to target the A or anything like that. So, all right, so now I just targeted the whole entire like site info, and we're displaying that as none. So that probably would have been the simplest thing, but I was trying to actually see because I didn't want to target the whole entire site info, that entire div, because I do want to add some content there in just a second, which we're going to actually use the CSS content method to put some actual like elements and text here that we actually want to have on our own. So let's move on into the next segment of our actual video. Okay, so while we have the display none selectors, display none property and value here with these child selectors, we're going to enter the same child selectors. Okay, now I'm gonna try to leave the A here because what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to use the pseudo selector or pseudo element. Sorry, it's not even a selector because it's not really selecting anything on the page per se with this, but we're going to type in before, okay, and see what happens. Now we're going to do this, and then the content, we're going to use the property content, okay, quotations, and I'm going to type in simple word copyright 2018. All right, and put a semicolon at the end of that. Okay. All right, that didn't add anything beforehand, so let's go ahead and let's see here. Okay, because we have it on display none, but if I take this off, display block. Okay, as we can see, because I have the display none right now, this works. It adds the copyright right here. Okay, but because I have the display none, it's not going to show it completely at all. So probably what I'm gonna have to do is, let me see here. We're going to display this as none. Okay, that's still going to be none. Now, instead of the site info where it has container, okay, so right before here, let me actually take this off. We're going to just add it to the container. Okay, let's try this. All right, voila. There we go. Very simple little technique. So instead of me having to take off I took off the whole entire site info, which is display none. It's still there. If I simply just put block or whatever, it's still there. Okay. The only thing is now I'm going to put none. Okay. The only thing is now is that I just made this entire element right here, the div class site info, this div with site info. I made it completely disappear. And I just added a selector, or I added that pseudo element before, and now our copyright content here is going to be copyright 2018. Okay, so it's basically this content, this text is right before the site info element, as you can see. So this is a little simple technique you can use CSS to actually do when you want to manipulate the site footer. You just have to know that on a WordPress thing, you just have to kind of go into your text box, your developer tools, okay, see what elements you need to manipulate, go ahead and manipulate them, select the child elements as we did here, as you saw me do right here, and type in the flesh, and voila, you can add and change any footer text that way, any way possible. All right, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, if anything that I kind of described was unclear, just leave a comment below. Thumbs up if you like it, thumb it down. I want to always improve on these videos so I can become a better teacher at giving out more information and advice here on YouTube and any other content platform that you see these videos. All right, once again, thanks for watching. Deshaun for DLJ Works. See y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching the video, and don't forget, after the video, go down to the description. Don't forget to click that show more button and check out my top 3 resources for hosting, email marketing, and for building a WordPress website from scratch or to customize an existing theme any way that you want to. Once again, thanks for watching. DLJWorks.com.